Suddenly your opinions qualify as crimes. Dare to say what you think at work and you will be fired in the middle of a recession. Write what you think online and you will be silenced by the big tech companies. So you keep your views to yourself. You have no choice. A lot of Americans are doing that right now. They're staying quiet. And of course, that's the point of censorship, to keep people isolated and alone, to prevent a consensus from forming that challenges those in charge. If you're forced to shut up, they can do what they want to you and your country. That's why they do it. Most media companies are dependent on Google. Google controls 70% of all online advertising. So if you're in the news business, you obey Google. When Google tells you to do something, you do it. You have no choice. They can bankrupt you in a minute, and they will. In all of human history, no single entity has ever had more control over information than Google does right now. This afternoon, NBC News decided to use some of Google's power to shut down a couple of its competitors. Power is useful for that. An NBC employee called Adele McComo-Fraser forwarded Google executives a screed from a left-wing activist group in England denouncing two sites, Zero Hedge and The Federalist, as, quote, racist. Google immediately took the bait, of course. The company threatened to ban both news organizations from Google's ad platform. In other words, to cut off their revenue. Adele McComo-Fraser was thrilled by this. She immediately fired off a victory tweet boasting about the censorship she had inspired. She called the two sites far-right. That's a term that has no meaning but does suggest some kind of immoral behavior that Adele McComo-Fraser disapproves of. At the end of her tweet, she thanked the activist who helped her to silence competing views, quote, for their hard work and collaboration, exclamation point, hashtag Black Lives Matter, with 3 raised fists at the end. Adele McComo-Fraser seemed very satisfied with herself. She had done her part for the revolution today. So what did Zero Hedge and The Federalist do to deserve this, to be demonetized? Well, we asked Google, and they told us that the two sites maintain unmoderated comment sections. In other words, readers get to say what they want. Google finds this intolerable. Faced with destruction, The Federalist had no choice but to submit to Google. The site deleted its comments section entirely. No more saying what you think about articles on The Federalist. Google has banned that now. Zero Hedge still does have comments, so it has been demonetized. All of this raises an interesting question, though. Google says it now holds conservative websites responsible for the comments of their readers. And yet, irony of ironies, thanks to a special carve-out Google has received from the United States Congress, something called Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, remember that, Google itself is not responsible for content on its platform because the Congress says it doesn't have to be. So if you're slandered by someone, for example, and that slander passes through Google servers, you cannot sue Google over it. Google is immune from the consequences. Immunity is a very nice thing to have if you're a big company. Fox News doesn't have it. But again, thanks to Congress, Google does have immunity. And that's one of the main reasons that Google's founders are some of the richest and most powerful people in the world, because Congress allowed them to be. Senator Josh Hawley pointed this out today. If Google will not extend 230 protections to others, Google should not enjoy those protections itself. It's been clear for a very long time that the big tech monopolies have now surpassed the federal government as the chief threat to our liberties. Google is acting directly to shape what people can say and what they're allowed to speak. It's a direct effort to stifle free speech. So how about House Republicans? Well, this spring, Congressman Doug Collins, the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, and Jim Sensenbrenner, the ranking member of the Antitrust Subcommittee, released a letter defending Google and the other tech monopolies from scrutiny. They attacked any investigation of the tech companies that might have, quote, preconceived conclusions that large tech companies are inherently bad or must be broken up. They actually wrote that. Who is paying these guys? And more to the point, whose side are they on? Again, let us hope for a vigorous primary challenge to these two and any who share this view. Year in and year out, we vote for these people in the fervent hope they will stand up for us when it matters. Now it matters. And now, like every time before, they sell us out. Time is up. Seriously, it is too much. The stakes are too high. We need better leadership. We need someone to protect us. Nobody is.